Hello and welcome back. Recently it's summer holidays, so I've had a chance to play a lot of Don't Starve on the Switch. It's been out ages, but you know, because of some holidays, I get a bit more time to kind of play some games, and I kind of went from day 0 to day 180 in like 1 or 2 sessions, and then I died and became very annoyed. But nonetheless, because I've been playing single player, I've got a big kind of itch to play multiplayer, so I've been doing a couple of streams of that. And basically, you know, because the last tutorial did quite well for single player, you know, Don't Starve, I thought it would be a good idea to do one for Don't Starve together, because the game is slightly different and I'm a bit better now and I've learned a couple of things, so good chance to do a new guide for 2019. Let's do it. So we played Don't Starve together. I rang up my brother because I was like, yo, we need to make this video. Let's you know, if in a time of need, who'd you ring your brothers, right? Unfortunately, it'd been a while, and whilst he played in the past, he wasn't exactly the best. And let me say, this definitely wasn't our first playthrough, and you know, what the hell. So I sped up the entire footage, as you can see right now, and that way you can kind of see what we're going on. Unfortunately, Harrio's audio managed to leak in. You can kind of see what we're kind of talking about ish, because I muted myself, but that's not a problem. The main sort of thing we do first is that I ping Wilson. He picks the WA robot guy. Main reason is because they're simple characters. Don't Starve together brings loads of characters into the game, which is great. But some of them have some really cool advantages and some really bad disadvantages. And if you are new to the game, and you know, you've not even kind of done your first kind of loop of the seasons, you're going to be caught off guard. Characters like Wolfgang that deal a lot of damage but need to eat a lot of food. When you're midwinter and you are new to the game, you're going to get killed. So what I straight up decide is that pick something easy. Pick something, you know, Wilson's great for a starting character because he doesn't really have any disadvantages. He's playing neutral. Same with the robot one. You know, that has some really solid advantages, but nothing that's going to make it difficult. For the seasons, things like winter and summer, when you are playing certain characters, can really bite you in the ass. So you know, that's always a good thing. So step 1 would be to pick characters that you know are going to work together, and don't get too cocky, because like I say, you're going to be playing these characters potentially quite into the late game. Obviously you can change in Don't Starve together, you can change what character you're playing, but that comes quite later and you're probably going to die before then. So you started the game, and what do you do first? Well, it's kind of a race. The first 20 days are going to be the hardest. Your objective is to just kind of get as much done as possible and be the best prepared as possible for either the incoming summer or winter. You might not know which season's going to come first. I've played games where I've prepped for winter and then summer comes and I've been completely annihilated, and that's not been great. But nonetheless, that's the way it is. The idea is, because you're in summer first, don't stop at night. Carry a torch. If you're in a team of 2, one of you carries a torch, the other one's should be always collecting materials. Don't Starve is a good way to kind of think of the game as like a time, like a running simulator, so to speak. You got to make the most effective use from your time in the best way to kind of survive, if that makes sense. You've got to balance your 3, you know, stats. If you've played any of this game before, that really does help. Hunger, sanity, and health. You kind of don't want to be at full at any of these resources. They are resources at the end of the day. If you're at full health, then you've probably not used your health effectively, unless you're just really good. Hunger means you're probably overeating. If your hunger's at 75, there's no point in eating something that's going to overfill that, so to speak. So that you kind of want to get the maximum use of all your resources all the time, and that's kind of what we do straight off the bat. We're running around, we're collecting as much as we can, and we're also sticking to the roads. The main reason why we're sticking to the roads is because we can do the most exploring of the map as quickly as possible. Roads increase your speed, and you can see we start to follow the stony road. The main reason because of that is because we're after the Pig King. If we know the stony road always leads to the Pig King, and we know we're going to be able to move fast, we're going to be able to gather a high amount of resources. At one point we find gold in a graveyard. That was really great because it means we can quickly get the science machine. Sometimes I've played starts and we've got everything, but we can't get a damn gold. And if you get the gold early, it means you can quickly build the science machine and get a backpack backpack, so that way both of you are able to carry quite a lot more. It means you can build spears and a shovel, and that's kind of what the first thing you want to do is just get as much material as you can, get a science machine up as you're traveling. Don't worry about if you have to build a second one. Unlock spear, shovel, backpack. They're amazing things. You're going to be able to fight monsters, carry stuff, and dig up graves and stuff, which is always useful if you want to find a couple of things early on. Finding the Pig King was great for us. Kind of the main two areas we like to base about is if the past guys like base around Beefalo, that's great, but if they get killed, it's kind of bad. The pigmen are generally my favourite because there is a really efficient way to kill pigmen, which I'll show and talk about next. So what I like to do is kind of base a good distance away from any source of pigmen. So that's basically an instant supply of food that's reliable, goes through all of the seasons, which means, before, if you used, a lot of people, I used to use rabbits as like the year long, but the game changed and the rabbit hole closed, which means during some months that source of food's gone, whereas if you're near the pigs, you can kind of get manure out of them, and also caves. Caves were a great way for allowers. We were in a crap position actually in this playthrough because the sort of game mode it was on, we don't get twigs. Usually that's the kind of the better one you want. We got the twiggy trees, which it's great, but not ideal just because we don't get. If I want wood, I want to specifically get wood, which helps with some kind of efficiency sometimes. But we were able to use the caves in order to. The bats basically we know lay poo. We're near the pigs, so we can use the bushes, the manure, and the pig meat. And in fact, we also use moles as a good mole trick as well to kind of set up our first base. So you can actually base anywhere and don't starve together if you're good enough. One of the tricks we also used was that when there's moles around, you can just leave, if you leave some kind of gravel, some kind of stone material out, they'll go towards it, then you kill a mole, easy morsel, no trap needed. Same with the pigs. What you want to do with a pig fight is that you want to hit them and immediately run away. What you should be using for all, sort of battling and fighting is Control F. That way you're going to be able, basically, using Control F to target, it's faster, and it means you can actually dodge moves properly. So you want to be moving with your mouse, with the left click, always be holding left click, use space to pick up things, and use Control F to do basically the fighting. That way, what you see when I do with the pig is I'll attack it, move away, the pig will punch and then run away, and then just as he's about to run, if you use Control F, you can hit him quick enough that he doesn't run away from you properly, so you can dodge his attack, hit him a couple of times, and then he'll go for a swing. You only want to hit him 3 times-ish. He'll go for a swing, you move away, and you basically repeat, and you kind of use this pattern. Me and Harry, to begin with, it was kind of hard because I'm trying to teach Harry to fight multiple pigs. It is difficult if you are near the pig village. Pulling 2 pigs is difficult. You kind of want to get them one at a time. But once Harry kind of got the knack of it, we were able to start to get a good amount of kills on these pigs, and that allows us to get pig skin, meat, and again with the moles and using the fertilizer with the berries, we were able to start to accumulate resources in our base. That's kind of what you want to do relatively quickly. So you're a couple of days into your Let's Play at this point, you kind of know where you're going to base, there are a couple of things to do, but you're getting there. At this phase, you should be moving up to your tier 2 science machine. What you need to do with this is you're going to need a bit more stone, a bit more wood, a bit more gold, but that's going to allow you to unlock 2 really important items: the refrigerator, which allows you to keep food for longer, and the crock pot, which does allow you to combine foods together. These are really important, obviously, so you're getting more out of your resources. The refrigerator is going to be deadly important for the summer and winter sort of periods because you're not going to be able to move much. The temperatures are going to keep you in place. You have limited movability, so holding on to that food and making sure you can get the most out of these resources is really important. However, there is one massive caveat at this stage. You need a gear to make the refrigerator, and gears aren't always the easiest thing to get. They can be quite difficult and a major roadblock. If you get them later, they are a struggle. So exploring as much as you can is the reason kind of why you are going to need these sort of things. You need to explore, and that's why I say maybe going out in separate ways is good, because then you can cover more ground. not stopping at night, just kind of see if you can find where these gears are located. To get a gear, there are a couple of ways, but the main way you're going to get it is by killing the mechanical monsters. They are really tough and not easy. So in between doing that with your shovel, you should be digging up the grass nodes, if you're not near any, the berry nodes. And if potentially, if you can, maybe get a beehive killed, so you can get a bit of honey. That's always good early game, and so you can build the beehive near your base early. So you're kind of getting these long-term farming items combined with the fertilizer from the cave that drops off the bats, or maybe even the beefalo if you can, to start to build things like your farms, your berry bushes, get things planted near your base location, with the goal really to kind of search for these gears. If you do manage to find a gear monster, I would suggest not fighting it. They are big killers of the early game. If you do die in the first 12 days, you might as well write it off, reset, because you're going to become a ghost most of the time, and then that's going to mess up the other player's sanity, and that's going to really put you in trouble. What I suggest is guiding one of the gear monsters to either a spider's nest or some other kind of creature, or maybe even use the dogs when they come at day 10 or later game 18 is probably too pushing it to kill them, but again that's kind of a struggle. What we kind of did is we got really lucky, and the spiders, we killed one of the gear monsters and we were able to get 2 gears, so that was really good for us. However, what we do later on in the game is that we do need some more gears. So what we do is we lead one of the, you don't want to fight one of the bigger ones. Maybe sometimes the rhino is easier to kill. You're gonna have to watch a YouTube tutorial how to kill him easy, because you can pull him longer. But the horse guy is actually quite good to kill if you can get him by himself. You build a log piece of armor, one guy just stands there tanking the crap out of it with log armor, and you just whack it. You will be able to kill it quite quickly, but make sure you're about full HP because he's a bit tough. But if you've been careful up to this point, you should have not a lot of problem. Once you've got 1 gear, you can build a refrigerator. You're gonna need more gears in the future, so if you can get the gears easy, if you're in maybe an opportunity occurs, grab as many gears as you can because they're really good late game. So at this point, you're kind of approaching the end of the beginning. These last few tips are going to set you up for success for the later seasons. The 2 next main materials you're going to need, and you see in the footage, is pigskin. You get that through killing pigs. Obviously you're going to get meat as well, which is always useful. But the pigskin is used for armor, it's used to making more pig houses, it's used for a real range of things. And silk, you get silk from killing spiders. If you kill a tier 3 spider nest, which is really easy to do, you just build traps like you would do to farm rabbits. You guide the spiders into the traps, you can kill the spiders, don't even have to fight them. But spiders are easy to kill by themselves, just repeatedly whack them and it will stun hit them. The only things you're going to have to worry about is the yellow ones. That's kind of where you want to use the traps. If you kill a tier 3 spider nest, you get the nest and you can move that close to your base as well, so that's really good. Silk is kind of used, and that leads us on to the next sort of phase, is something that you really need to sort before you hit the winter, which is sort out the bird setup. And the bird setup is the best thing you can do for these later months, because it basically converts monster meat into really good food, and the monster meat is basically sustainable alongside spiders throughout the year. Obviously the dogs and all these sort of other creatures drop monster meat. So what you do is you use silk to catch birds. You use a lot of gold and some other materials, mainly reeds that you get from the swamp. So you don't have to do a lot of exploration. Again, that's why I say exploring in this first setup, a couple of days is really important. And you build a bird's nest. You put the bird in the bird's nest, and what that allows you to do is, if you cook 2 monster meat, feed at the bird, you get 2 eggs. Use 2 of these eggs, 1 monster meat, and a morsel in the crock pot. You get bacon and eggs. It's the best food ever. Good on health, good on sanity, good on hunger. It's great, and basically it converts useless food into something useful at the end of the day. 2 of the tips is that if you are low on sanity, don't pick up flowers. You need to just wait till the evening, wait till the mushrooms turn green, pick up green mushrooms, cook them, eat them. If you can get like 5 or 6 of them, it'll perk your sanity really easy. They're simple to get, they're quite abundant. So don't pick up flowers. What you should use the flowers for is flowers spawn butterflies. when a butterfly is doing its little twirly animation, you see me do this all the time, is you press Control F, you go to the butterfly, kill it, and you can eat the butterfly wings, or if you're really lucky, it'll get you butter, which is a massive boost to your health as well. Really sustainable, you know, they last forever. Again, it's going to last you through the summer and winter months, so you're not destroying, and you're building your base for, you know, the long term here. So not picking up flowers is really great, unless you really need it. You should be using the pigskin to build an umbrella. That way, if there is any rain, you can use the umbrella. That's going to hold you off. Maybe plant a tree next to your fire, so at night you can stand next to that. But at some point around day 14, you should be getting to the full moon. If you haven't found Glommer at this point, it kind of sucks because you might not get another shot. Glommer basically is this creature that spawns during a full moon near the Glommer statue. You go to the statue at full moon, you pick up the flower, you take it back to your base, and if you stand next to Glommer at night, you regen sanity. Not that it's a problem, but during winter months mostly, where you're in your base, it's dark, and you haven't got a lot you can do, you can just stand next to Glommer, and it's basically going to help fight off some of that sanity. And basically, it means you're not wasting resources. If you have the extra time as well, you can go hunt the elephant. If you can pull this off, that's really great. What you do is follow the tracks. They'll spawn on the map in the game. They'll point to each other, and it'll point. And basically, towards the end, you can see this elephant. You can do it at winter and summer, but obviously at this point, you're probably still in this. You know, you are going to be in the summer stage. This is what this guy is all about. You're in the summer stage, and what you do is you wait till it's night time. Some people keep it so they can use the manure, but you can use the cave stuff for that, so there isn't kind of the point. And if you're using berry bushes, you're not going to need too many farms till later on. For the first, one, I generally kill it because it gives me that extra food for the winter. What you can do is you wait till it's night, get one guy in a log suit, like how you fought the mechanical monsters. One guy stands there near a campfire, just stand still, takes the damage. If there's more than one of you, because you just don't start together at the end of the day, you can just gang up on it. It'll kill it. You get like 6 to 8 pieces of big chunky meat, which is really useful. You can put that in a drying rack. That turns into jerky. You can keep that long term over the winter. Again, good on food, sanity, health. Really nice food to use. And you get the chunk, which can be converted into a winter cloth that basically keeps you warm during the winter. Again, you combine this with a heat stone. That again is something that you need for the winter. Make sure you have the stone. You should have abundance of materials at this point, but everyone should have a heat stone. Unlike Don't Starve normally, the heat stones in Don't Starve Together, they do degrade over time, so they generally only last 1 or 2 seasons. So do remember that that you can actually run out of heat stone, so you are going to need a good amount of stone at this point, and somebody's going to have to get it. So in combination with the heat stone, you've got your bird set up, you've got your drying racks, you should have a beehive if you're lucky, and all this kind of setup. Your farms are now close to your base. You are definitely prepared for the winter/summer months. If you've enjoyed this guide and you want to see one for these more difficult, challenging months, let me know. But make sure to leave a like, subscribe. If you've got any tips and tricks, put them in the comments. Maybe we can cover them in the next video. And I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.